Peggy 18.
I remember a time before all of this. There was life. There was freedom. That's long gone now. The disease spread quickly, and only a few were immune, lost and desperately fighting for survival. Society has fallen. There's nowhere left to run, and nowhere to hide. No laws or rules, every man for himself. Welcome to Chernarus. You're in hell now, and there's no way out. Just keep moving, keep hiding, keep surviving. Kill or be killed. But don't get your hopes up too high, because everyone has a bullet with a name on it. And it's just a matter of time. This is Dayz. This is your story. Coming to PlayStation 4, May 29th.
All right, and here we are. As the trailer said, Dayz is finally coming to PlayStation 4 tomorrow. This was our brand new live action trailer. And welcome to our PlayStation live stream. I am here with Eugen, our lead producer.
Hey guys.
I'm here with Tim, our
Hi, everyone.
community manager. My name is Martin. I am the marketing guy for Dayz, and behind the scenes we have Bati, our community manager, taking care of the chat. You don't hear her now, but she's saying hi. And we have our amazing video guys, Nella and Petter, taking care of the live stream. Before we start, sorry for a little bit of the delay because we got into, obviously, as it is, release date coming close. Everything is basically on fire. Everybody is freaking out. And obviously, we ran into issues with our console. So we will see if we're probably not going to have too much gameplay today, but that's okay because it's not that much about the gameplay. And we're just going to talk about Dayz and what's coming with Dayz to PlayStation 4. So as the trailer said, you already know it. The game's gonna be basically throughout tomorrow will be available worldwide. I think at 7 p.m. Central European Time tomorrow on 29th. That's where the game should be available everywhere. Some lucky people in Australia are actually can actually play right now. So GG to you guys. Go out to the store in Australia, buy Dayz, and feel free to play it because for you, thanks to your awesome time zone, it is already out.
Which is funny because that's where Dayz almost started.
That's true, actually. I didn't even think about it. So Dean Hall, the guy obviously who created the original Dayz mod that eventually led to the original PC game, he's from New Zealand. So I'm not sure if Dean's watching us. If he is, hi. Your creation is your original creation is coming out on PlayStation 4 tomorrow. I think it was back in 2015 2014 when Dean Hall was on the E3 stage and originally announced that the
Yeah, it was possibly 2014. I
Yeah.
can't be sure from the top of my head. As you
Yeah,
guys
it
know,
was
it's been a couple of years,
yeah.
and it's been a long ride. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So, and actually, we're pretty much almost 5 years. Yeah.
Yes.
So we definitely like to take time to deliver good things. But after this long waiting, thank you guys, everybody. I know there's a lot of you waiting out for the PlayStation 4 version. So thanks for the patience. It's finally here, and you'll be able to play. If not already in Australia, then just over the course of tomorrow.
I
the game
actually
will
have a
be
good
available
story
for you.
about that one.
Okay.
For PS4.
I always love good stories.
Yeah,
so
yeah. When we went to Gamescom
Uh-huh.
with the demo of the 063 version, I went to a store. Of course, I was like fully decked out in my Daisy gear, like
Yeah.
Daisy hoodie, Daisy T-shirt. And the first thing that the guy said is like, "When is it coming out on PS4?"
Uh-huh.
The store guy recognized me as a developer of Daisy.
Okay.
Of course, the merch like made it
Oh
easier.
yeah. Our logos
Uh,
make it
yeah,
easy
yeah,
every
yeah,
time.
yeah. But there are definitely people out there who want to play it, and I'm excited to see you guys try it out on the PS4.
Especially for Tim and Basti, obviously, like the huge influx of new players is gonna completely flood our social media channels. But it's also always exciting, obviously, to welcome new people into the game and see them enjoy Chernarus. And with that, I think since we've seen the live action trailer,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure like most people who watch today, I guess you guys know what Daisy is all about in the basics, right? But just for recap, because I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
we have some people who don't have all the details about the game or
Yeah.
about the setting of of
Chernarus.
Daisy, the Chernarus. Like, what happened there? Why is all of a sudden Daisy is a survival game? And I think everybody knows as much. But
That's-
why is everybody in survival mode
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
Chernarus?
That's not an easy question to answer because we don't know what exactly happened.
Uh-huh.
The world that we built in Bohemia, Chernarus, a very old world that has been with Bohemia for a long time. You've seen it in our older games as well. Is based on a real-world location in Czech Republic around Ústí, and we try to replicate it as much as we can. However, there are of course intricacies
Yeah.
because like it needs to serve gameplay 1st
Mhm.
and foremost. But I think the immersion that you get by copying a real-world location that doesn't serve a linear purpose
Mhm.
gives you certain kind of freedom that's
Mhm.
not seen in other
Mhm.
games. So it's
And-
very specific type of
Mhm.
open world.
And I think also, and I think at least for me personally, like Chernarus is one of the most key things to the Daisy experience, because when you really like when you go to the first person mode and you just kind of want to really feel everything and fully immerse yourself, I think the fact that it is based on real life location just gives it so much more. And I think it's the one thing that really differentiates Daisy from many other games, because
It's easy to get lost in that game.
Yeah.
Like actually really easy.
yeah. Not for people obviously who live in the part of the Czech Republic where the game was based on, but yeah. So Chernarus is based on real world, and I think it really transfers into the kind of game experience, because nature is I guess a very good designer in general. It's just you can try to replicate and be creative, and of course that's awesome. But when you really want to feel like you're there, you're part of the apocalypse. I guess having Chernarus as the kind of real place inspired by real places really helps. So
The
that's
immersion part is the what the details generally matter a lot because every detail that can like get you out of that world, out of that immersion, and by implementing those real world locations, you'll get as near to that immersion as you can.
Actually, since we don't, Petter, since we don't have gameplay, can we at least? I think we have like a nice little comparison of the places in Chernarus. Yeah. So this is the
Pikorazovka,
Pikorazovka.
yeah.
Yeah. Above which city is it actually? This is the real life place, by the way, and
Yeah.
this is the game version. I don't know.
It's above Cherno.
Yeah, I think we've been there with Batsy and a couple of guys from the community, and when we got on top, it's a huge hike, guys. It's literally hard to get on top of that hill, much harder than it is in the game. So that's one difference. Oh, that's the Gorka Church, actually.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because this thing, the game itself, and the real world that we created for Daisy has inspired so many people to visit the place.
Oh yes.
And you actually meet them there. I wouldn't say often, but quite a lot. Like people who would never go to Czech Republic to the countryside go there to experience the real
There is a
world
Boban.
Daisy.
Yeah. Oh yes. I think this is one of the most iconic
Yeah.
places in the
Oh, yeah.
entire game.
And the water pump. People
Oh,
love
we
that.
have that at the studio.
Yeah. And I think what's coming right after this is gonna be the ADA for ES.
Yeah.
And literally, this is actually filmed. I know this because I've seen it myself when we were filming it. This is literally filmed at the location in actual real Generous. So we didn't even have to fake
Is it
it.
spawning there?
It's literally spawning in real life. Yes.
It's something that we put a lot of emphasis on. Even the items that you see in the game, the clothing, everything. Like the alternate timeline where Cherners is
Yep.
happening or Daisy is happening specifically. Everything that's in game is part of that immersion.
Mhm.
So when we're choosing cars, we're trying to choose something that fits the environment. Even if we could go for more flavor, more
Mhm.
variation, there's something about keeping it real
Yes.
that fits Daisy as a whole.
Yeah. And literally, like, Chernobyl is kind of suggesting that it's something like Russia, and also like the signs in Cyrillic on the towns kind of suggest that it's a Russian country. But lots of the items, like if you went into like a trip into Czech Republic, you would see the specific kinds of hats and the sweatshirts.
I'm
and
wondering
everything.
if our merge, the map that we made for Daisy, could actually be used to travel around the place. Like if it would fit, like at least in some way.
I think
The
that
main streets are pretty accurate.
yeah, I think the main layout of the like villages and towns.
Yes, yes.
Like Adam, our map designer, kind of added like something more to the map over time, of course. Also, like compared to the times from Arma 2, but yeah, uh, it is pretty accurate. And if you are anywhere, like if you're a Daisy fan, haven't been to Czech Republic ever, I kind of sound like a tourism office right now. but the experience is absolutely surreal. Just come visit, and Chernos is based on a real place, and it feels just like in the game, just not that apocalyptic. Yeah.
But it's almost there. Like
Yeah, almost there. All right. I'm kind of lost on topic, so I'm gonna have to read
we can
a little
focus
bit.
on the start of the player to
Yeah,
talk about
yeah, yeah.
why he's there.
Yeah.
Generally, when you start the game of Daisy, you're a survivor. You're one of the immune ones, even though that we don't know what actually
Mm-hmm.
happened. You know that the zombies cannot infect you. The infection is actually not causing any harm. They still can maul you to death. Like
Yeah.
that can happen. But you're in a world that has been abandoned by the forces that try to do something with the infection, and you're gonna try to survive in that place to the best of your ability, using all the tools that you find.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go out of script, Eugen. So feel free to feel free to kill me later. But
No problem.
do we know why we spawn on the coast? I always wondered.
Okay, so that's actually a gameplay aspect that we tried out and we're still playing around with. So the reasoning there was we wanted map to have a certain structure to it, to its gameplay, that you want to progress to the
Oh,
map.
so that you have like a pro.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
So
that
there's a
makes sense.
progression path to the game itself. And we're going to talk more about the central economy
Right.
later
Yeah,
down
yeah.
the stream. But generally, it's mostly because we want to see the progression from the south to north.
It also gives the player like a certain direction to go, because when
Yeah.
you're on the coast,
Yeah,
you-
when the back is ocean, the
Exactly.
way out is easy.
I mean, you can go to the side, you can follow the streets,
Yeah.
but inland is mostly
Yeah. No,
village to go.
and for any new players out there who will still get to Daisy, and like you will really experience it for the first time, as Eugene said, enjoy the feeling. Like don't go to the internet and don't open the map right away. Like there are websites, you can find the map, you can put it on your phone, but don't do that. If you don't know Chernarus, one of the best experiences in Daisy when you start out is just not knowing where the hell you are in the world.
It's the aspect of exploration is a big part of Daisy. There is a certain charm to getting lost, following a road to a city that you don't know, finding people that you never met, making friends, making enemies. Like the game has so many aspects to it, and when you reveal them on paper, they kind of steal away the charm that you can get if you experience it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And like this natural kind of way of finding out about the world, learning as you go, even like to things like the crafting recipes. Whenever you discover something on your own without specifically like knowing in advance what you need to do, it's kind of, it takes time, obviously. If you don't want to put in the time investment, that's fine. There's lots of articles about Daisy and YouTube videos, especially on how to get like head start of Daisy. But
Yeah. The first time I took shovel in my hand and realized I can dig worms,
yeah,
like that's not something that happens in games a lot.
yeah, no, that yeah, definitely digging. That's one of the very random Daisy things. Like, okay, you can dig up worms. No, but so just recap super basics. Daisy survival game, 60 players on a server, and yes, there is the intention of environment, like weather and temperature and everything else. There's the infected, or the zombies. We don't like to call them that way, but
Yeah.
technically, everybody calls them zombies. So, Tim's not gonna like me for this, but
No.
they
They are infected.
yeah, they are the infected. Okay, but the other thing, obviously, and that's what makes Daisy one of the most original games out there, is the player interactions.
Hmm.
What do you, Eugen? What you meet a like meeting your first player? If you haven't played Daisy before ever, meeting your first player is a huge event. Actually, you don't have a gun or whatever. What do you do? What's the best kind of approach?
I've had multiple stories that I experienced myself, but generally, the best way to survive in game like Daisy is to make friends.
Mhm.
So any kind of interaction um, that open ups that vulnerability that you have to the other player, and the friendships that some of the people that I met in Daisy, or even like the players that we have right now, I've seen relationships built on those friendships.
Mhm.
Even we even went to a wedding of a couple that actually met in Daisy together, and we were invited. So there is something really
Nice.
special about what happens in this game in terms of interaction, and we try to help that by implementing tons of gestures and emotions that you can put on the player
Yeah.
and use them to interact with the world around you. And since like there is a lot of complexity to the interaction that you have in the game with both world and the players, um, helping a player might mean giving him a can opener. Helping a player might mean actually killing a bandit that is threatening him.
Yeah.
And those moments when you save somebody, or you get saved while you were being threatened by players on the coast or anywhere else, they are so intense, and I have never had an experience that has been so heart pumping.
Yeah.
And always like the best moments I have been making friends. So I would
Yeah.
definitely focus on those interactions first and
Yeah.
foremost.
So like we don't want to force you into anything, but don't kill people on the first time you see them. Don't try to, like, if you're fresh when you have nothing on you, maybe a can of beans if you're lucky or something. Please, just don't try to punch people. They maybe they're not friendly. You never know, but you know if you kill them, you'll never learn.
Yeah, there are tons of aspects to survival of Daisy. As Martin has said, like there is hunger, there is thirst, there is temperature. So you need to actually clothe yourself properly, avoid rain, create fireplaces to heat yourself up, find gear that suits the
Yeah.
environment that you're in, tools that help you fight zombies. Or even predators. We have wolves in the game, and
Yeah.
those are quite scary every time I meet them.
Oh yeah, the
Uh,
howling
it-
you
it's just-
hear it from very afar.
So you're fighting not only the environment, but you're fighting the threats,
Yeah.
and to get through that, the best way to do so is to do so with somebody else.
Exactly.
So if you don't have a friend that plays Daisy with you, find one, and I think you're gonna find it a lot easier.
Yeah, and especially I think now when still like there's a lot of people just finding out about the game, use the opportunity. Try not to kill each other right away, but try to talk to people. Maybe they have something you need. Maybe they have an extra can of beans. Maybe they have the can opener because you need that to open the can of beans to keep yourself alive and eat. So Daisy is also a very social game. So our advice: you can play any way you want. That's the beauty of Daisy. You can. It's we say that Daisy is your story, so you can do basically pretty much whatever you want. But as Eugen says, the beauty of Daisy is definitely in the
We're not trying to
interactions.
put limit on your actions and what you do in game. And as Martin has said, that's the beauty of Daisy. Like all those options that are always available to you through the tools, through the world, the environment, and the players that you meet. Those are the important parts. And since Daisy can be described as a hybrid MMO because when you join a server with the 60 players, you have multiple servers to choose from, and that's a realm that you can live in. That's a realm that becomes the world that you want to affect and build your character around that one.
Yeah. And so, speaking of servers, I think we kind of can lead into this topic. I think like I probably people who already play Daisy are familiar with it, but we call Daisy a persistent game. I think people will, the new PlayStation players will see us mention it on social media forums and in updates posts and so on. So what does it mean in practical terms? What does it mean that Daisy is persistent?
Okay, so any action that you take in game, the servers have, of course, a life cycle, so they restart every now
Yeah.
and then. However, any action that you take in the server, so for example, if you take a car, fill it with something, gas, water, whatever you need, it's gonna stay that way forever until somebody touches it, until somebody does something with it. So all the actions that you take in the environment, in the world, it's gonna stay that way. So you can keep putting your marks all over the world by putting up tents, creating hidden stashes, base building, stashing your car, stashing your gear, even like creating a fireplace somewhere that it can attract people
Yeah.
and such. Generally, like we want to focus on a living world that has a continuity to it.
And so I think it's probably a concept more like known to general like online games. I mean, in the massive multiplayer online games where you really like play on a specific server where you just want to stay. I think that's very much the case of Daisy. You just want to, whenever you start playing on a server, you can still switch between servers. But I think the general idea for Daisy is that you want to ideally stay on your own server
Yeah,
and
that's
just
the
live your life
world
there.
you want to live in. That's the world you want to explore. That's the world where you want to make friends, when you want to leave your mark.
Yeah.
Because Daisy is not an easy game, in any kind of sense. So you want to take your time and focus on building reliable sources of tools, of resources, bullets, everything that you need to survive in this game. And you want to keep that around so when you return, you can continue easily.
Nice. I just got notified that what I forgot to tell one thing about the live stream at the beginning. Right now we're talking, we're just introducing Daisy, but towards the end of the live stream, please, if you're asking questions, keep doing so. Bati's gonna take care of some of them, gonna send them through to Tim, and we're gonna try to answer what we can. I can already see
Yes.
people going wild about
course.
how expensive Daisy will be on PlayStation 4, I guess, and things like this. So definitely, feel free to ask those questions. We're gonna, I think, in a little bit, we're just gonna go over there and we're gonna try to answer
Yes.
answer the questions. So Tim and Bati are gonna be preparing them to keep you kind of on the live stream towards the end. We also gonna have a nice giveaway. The T-shirt that I am wearing right now, it is a T-shirt that we have available on our store, and we're gonna be giving out. Not sure if the T-shirts, Patty, but some other things as well. And we will be giving out not right now exactly today, but when the game becomes available, to some of you who enter the live stream raffle. Basically, we're gonna send you. We're gonna have a couple of keys to give away for you. So stay tuned. When we get to the part of answering your questions from the live stream, we're gonna do also a very nice giveaway of some Daisy merch and some codes for Daisy the game. But is doing something I don't understand.
She's bringing my
yeah,
favorite
she's-
piece of merch.
Yes. So as we spent a lot of time already talking about channels, but helping you navigate through the game, we have an actual physical map printed out of channels. Also available on the store. I think we'll be giving some of them out, Bati. But he's not listening to me right now. Never mind. But yeah, I think we're gonna do a giveaway of these things as well. And in general, they are available on our store. I'm doing a little bit of advertising here, not intentional, but I'm a marketing guy anyway, so don't blame me.
But it's like out of all the things, like having that experience of like real physical world map that helps me navigate Daisy.
Yeah.
It's something that, like, I was a kid the last time I actually used a real world map.
Oh yeah, true.
Because these days it's mostly smartphones.
Yeah.
So it's something that I look back on fondly.
Yeah. And I think, I don't want to sound like a prepper or something, but eventually, whenever the civilization goes to this post-apocalyptic state, people will just appreciate those physical maps because there's not gonna be a you won't be able to plug your phone into the wallet. You won't be able to charge and get any maps. You'll be lost. So paper still matters. That's why we print our Daisy map on it. I got totally lost. We were Eugen. No, I know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
We talk about the basics of Daisy. We kind of talk about how we want people to try and experience Daisy for the first time. What is what we, I think you mentioned it with the interactions, but what do you think? Like, what's the catch for you on Daisy? What's the most exciting thing for you?
Like I never played the game that's similar to this. Like I know that people talk about our competitors, but even playing those, I feel like Daisy is so specific in so many regards because it's so hard to get into. It's just like it's a very different approach to realism, to survival, to how we deal with players. We don't want to put a structure to it that's like too focused on base rating, that's too focused on certain aspects that you see in other games. We want to keep it as open as much as we can and focus on those player stories. So those are the most important part. And I look fondly back on the first time that I started with Daisy and played around with it. Because actually, like when I entered the company 5 and something years ago, like my first assignment as an engineer was to play the game.
Okay.
I remember that very clearly.
Makes sense. I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
everybody who's joining should do that.
And I remember I was traveling through Cherners, and I met this girl in a city. It was like filled with zombies, and there was no way I could survive. Sorry, and I know I saw her running down the road, and I shouted to her because one of the things that I think is very special about Daisy is also the voice that you use to communicate with the players. It's a natural part of the game. We want you to feel immersed as much as we can. So I shouted to that girl, like, if we can, like, what's happening? Like, can you help me? I don't know the game. And she came over. We decided to travel together. None of us were actually equipped with weapons or anything. But I was able to find some bolts for a crossbow. And the girl found a crossbow. And I gave her the bolts. And as soon as I turned around, she shot me. So the betrayal part of Daisy,
Betrayed
I
by
almost,
the girl.
Yeah, I almost rage quit the game at that point. But the thing is, like, all those interactions, the friendships, the saviors that help you, and then like you leave. Like there have been situations when somebody have helped me and I don't know their name.
Yeah.
I never met them again, and I still like remember what they wore when they actually saved me, what weapon they used. Like it's those interactions, both betrayal and saving people are such a emotional moment for the game. I don't think I actually experienced something similar in any other game.
I think
anywhere.
I think that's absolutely true. Daisy has this very special emotional aspect to it when you can okay, sometimes you just run around for very long, nothing really happens. But then the thing in Daisy happens, this kind of interaction where your heart starts like beating so fast and your hands start to sweat because it's a high stress situation or something. And yeah, that's what truly is.
And the second part that I would
Daisy.
definitely emphasize is that so many times in that game, like we try to implement that in our designs, like using real world skills to help you in game. So all of our interactions, crafts, navigation in the game tries to focus on something that you would do in real life. So if I travel Cherners, I'm gonna find maps placed around the world. I'm gonna find signs placed around the world. I'm gonna find things that I can use the same way as I can use them in the real world, and that's something that has saved me so many times. Like navigation through stars, like small things that you basically realize only way long into the game, and
Right.
like there's so many things to explore. Like I was learning new things about Daisy like year after I started playing it, so that's an amazing thing.
Cool. I think we talked enough.
Okay.
I think the community on the chat is also getting crazy on us, Tim. Is that
Yeah.
correct? We need to, I guess,
Definitely.
answer some questions.
So let's move to the Q&A then.
Yeah, let's move
Yeah,
to
of
the
course.
Q&A. Batty, do we want to do the giveaway right now? Okay, so if I understand it correctly, all you need to do, guys, is to type in Daisy PS4 into the chat. PS4, just like this, not PlayStation 4, but PS4. Type that into the chat, and that's all you need to do. You're gonna be part of the raffle, and at the end of the live stream, I think Batty's gonna just run the randomizer. We're gonna pick. I don't know how many of you, Batty. I'm sorry, I'm not very informed today. Okay, so we're gonna have three packages with merch, and I think later on we're also gonna give away some codes of the game. So just type in PS4 into the chat. That's gonna enter you into the raffle, and if you win, we're gonna reach out to you and we're gonna ask you about all the things we need to send you the goodies. Good, everybody understands that. I see a lot of PS4s in the chat.
Yay.
So yes, I think we talk
Yeah.
quite a bit. So let's get to the questions. I
With
see
Dayz,
some.
it can get emotional sometimes.
Yeah, we like to talk about our game. We love it.
Okay, the main question that's got asked right at the beginning is, of course, the release time. You
Mhm.
said it's already available in Australia. When do the
Yes.
other countries get their
Yes,
share?
it's a little bit more complicated. We were kind of confused by this ourselves. So, like I said, right now we should be out in Australia and New Zealand in this region because of the time zone. Because I guess it's already the 29th there, if I
Yes.
understand it correctly. The game, I think I said it in the beginning of the live stream. We don't have exact times for each region, but by 7 p.m. Central European time tomorrow, the game should be out everywhere across the world. So that is right now the only answer I have right now. It's gonna be a little bit more of a continuous rollout, I would say. That's kind of how publishing Daisy on PlayStation works for us. So can't give you exact times, guys. Sorry, but by tomorrow, 29th of May, 7 p.m. European time, Daisy's gonna be out for everybody.
All right. Next topic is when it's available. What will the price be?
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the region, of course.
There's a lot of different regions. I don't remember all
Yeah.
of them, but in general, the pricing that we are aiming for across regions is. Hold on, let me check this. I need to double check. It's $49.99. I know this much. I just need to check the right price in euros. Should be the same, honestly. I think we're aiming for 49.99 euros slash US dollars. So this is the price range. I'm sorry, I don't have like all the. But I think we could try and we'll see. We can try to communicate this a little bit more closer on the. But by the time the game is out on the stores, you will see the price. But this is the general pricing level: $49.99 US dollars and euros.
Okay, connected to that, also the question for preloads or pre-orders.
Yeah, no, we just whenever the game's available, it's out. We were not doing any pre-orders. We just didn't want to do that. So check whenever it's 29th on your time zone, wherever you are in the world. Just check out the PlayStation Store. Search for Daisy. If it's out there, it's out.
All right. Next question is: we have a lot of we released on Xbox already. We
Yes.
released on PC, and now maybe you have friends already who are playing on those consoles and those platforms. So we of course have been asked about crossplay, if that will be enabled.
No, not at the moment.
Okay.
We don't want to go into more details.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's about it. Like, we are thinking about it, but there are no more details to share at the moment.
Okay. Cool. That was a pretty straightforward answer.
Okay, on PC we have already some big community servers that have opened, and there's a lot of focus on them. Will consoles also get the community servers and privately hosted servers?
That's actually a very good question. We're working on it right now. No ETA yet, but it's something that we're considering, and I think it would be a nice addition to the game on consoles.
Yeah, because it kind of makes for a nicer experience when you run your own community with a server. We get
Especially the roleplay communities that you see on
yeah,
those
exactly.
platforms, amazing. So yeah, it's something that we want to do, but no date yet.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
We get aghast about this a lot, but keep checking with us, keep asking, and the day we have the answer for you, we are obviously gonna share it in detail. And it's definitely something that across the studio, I just see that we want to do it. It's just like finding the solution that just works. That's the complicated part, I would say. So yeah, that's about private service.
Okay. During the Xbox game preview, we had a free trial version that
Mhm.
people could try out for an hour.
Mhm.
Will we have a similar system on PS4?
No, we will not have game trials. This was very specific to game preview because it was game preview back then. We were just that it's actually something that we are required to do, and it's also a very nice thing to do for the community. That you can try the game before you buy this kind of early access version of the game, see if it works. And
But Daisy on PlayStation 4 is basically buy once, play forever game. That's it.
All right. On PC, we are already moving away from physical copies. On consoles, that's still kind of the standard. Will we have
Mhm.
physical copies of DayZ available at some point?
It is something that we are currently negotiating with a publisher, and I think later down the year it will happen. Not with the release right now, but if you want a boxed copy of Daisy on PlayStation 4 or on Xbox, we will be doing those, and we will also let you know like the general availability of them and when.
All right. So we've already discussed the how servers on PS4 work. Servers will be all be provided, and players will not be able to host their own servers.
Not yet. Yes.
Not yet.
Right now, we basically have a set of official servers that we run. They are distributed across different locations. I don't know how many of them, but it's basically to cover the usual locations around the world so that you can play with decent ping.
We don't want to introduce the complexity of private passworded servers yet. I think it would complicate things from the start, but it's something that we're definitely looking into. So, giving players the ability to start their own servers, set them up in certain way, or change a couple things, is something that we want to implement, but it's not done yet, and we're going to talk about it once it's ready.
Cool.
All right. Many PlayStation and Xbox players have been asking about keyboard support. What are our plans towards that?
It's something that we're looking into, but again, it's one of the things that doesn't have an ETA.
Yeah, we don't have a specific like date.
So
for it.
nothing to share yet. Like as you guys probably know, like a lot of the things that come to your mind firsthand, it's something that we are already probably working on,
Yeah.
and hopefully we'll see in the future.
Okay. Support for PlayStation VR. Will we have DayZ in virtual reality on console?
Sadly, or thankfully, depending on how we look at it, Daisy is quite performance-heavy game.
Yeah.
The amount of simulation, the amount of players, the amount of zombies. VR is not a platform we're aiming for right now.
Okay. Also, especially from the Xbox players that are already playing the game, there is a certain duplication problem with items that players are exploiting. What do we know about that?
You're going to
What's the
see
sense of
more
that?
changes coming with the next update. And actually, it's one of the things that we wanted to mention. Since the game has been released on 2 platforms and we're releasing on the 3rd one, we want to get to a point where all those platforms are on a
In
same
sync.
update and are synced. So the next update, when it comes, you're going to see changes aimed at duplication for sure.
Okay. Probably another important question is DayZ as an online-only game, will it require PlayStation Plus?
Yes, it does require
Yes.
PlayStation Plus.
Okay. And there is no single player to DayZ because it is a multiplayer experience.
No, we don't have any single player available in Daisy.
Okay. Good. Server hopping.
If you don't count empty servers, sometimes the server is empty, so you can consider it kind of. But
Yes.
yeah, you still need a PlayStation Plus
Yes.
subscription.
That's true. Okay. We have it. So server hopping and switching servers brought several issues in there, and we plan to mitigate that at some point.
Yes.
Can we talk a bit more about our plans on that, or?
So we thought about different solutions to the problem. One of the ones that we want to try right now, and it might get into the next update, is when you switch server, we're gonna move you out of the location that you were, so there is no ghosting and generally abuse from basically swapping from a same location from one server to the other. But there might be other solutions, so this might not be a definite one. You'll see with the next update how we actually approach it once we test it out.
Okay. Simultaneous updates with PC and all consoles, so practically all updates coming out on the same day. Is that a possibility for the future?
We're definitely gonna try to do so, but with the next update, it's not possible.
It's not so like it's just to reiterate. It's like we want to avoid like having like a bigger gap in between updates, I guess, because right now you can wait for about 3-4 weeks even for an update to drop on a console versus to PC. So I guess the goal would be to make it as short as possible.
Yes, we're definitely aiming for a much shorter timeline, but as you guys might know, this is the first time that Bohemia is doing like a larger multi-platform game. We're not like a super large company, so with the limited resources that we have, we're gonna try our best to make sure that the delay is as short as possible.
Okay, compared to the version that's currently on PC, what version will PlayStation start with and how will that develop?
We're gonna be starting with 102.
Yes, the current patch that's arriving on PS4 is basically 102, which is something that you have already seen. 103, which arrived on PC recently, is not going to be getting to consoles soon. However, with 104, which is the next update that they're going to be seeing, is something that will deliver on all consoles and platforms within a certain timeline. And we're going to try to get it as short as we can.
Okay. Oh, I also read here some players are excited to if modding will come to PlayStation or consoles in general.
We would love to do that, but at the moment it's not possible.
Yeah, it just PC is a more established platform for this, and also just from the technical aspect, I guess it's a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, the technical implementation of modding on consoles and generally just making sure that it's easy to use is not something that we can do right now. So we don't want to offer a subpar product that way. Just if we are to deliver something like that, it's going to be something else, and that's not happening right now.
Okay. Okay, that sounds a good one. We have had the release on PC, we have it on Xbox and PlayStation 4. So when are we going to switch?
well, hold on. I'm not sure what's happening there, but there's kind of this like nice cooperation between Xbox and Nintendo, and I think eventually they would want to maybe have their live streaming service on the Nintendo Switch, or at least that's kind of, I guess, the goal. So if we're gonna be part of this, in theory, you could play Daisy on Switch as well, but I'm not sure if we're gonna be part.
No,
Eugen's probably looking like no,
yeah,
we're
I'm
not
already
gonna
shaking.
do that.
I'm shaking my head because the technical implementation that we might see in the future might be out of the question. So without getting it confirmed, we don't know yet. But generally, we are not coming to Nintendo Switch as a retail or digital game.
That's not.
And the live streaming service right now, it's something that we can't talk about much.
All right. Eugen basically putting it real.
I'm gonna try and do that.
Cool. No, we need that. Sometimes we get overly excited about things and then they don't happen. Okay, Tim. I've seen another interesting question about I think something with streaming.
If streaming is possible from PlayStation was asked.
Yeah. In general, we allow you to stream the game when there's a full support.
And we
for
already
that, so.
saw people streaming it actually on PlayStation from Australia, if I'm
True.
correct.
Yes.
Yeah?
As soon as the game launched, I think whenever we had 6 players, I think like the first 6 players, and 3 of them were actually streaming the game.
I
So
think
that-
it was 4 of 8, but yeah.
Oh,
it's-
okay, maybe I don't know. I'm not good with
Yeah.
numbers in general, so. But yeah, streaming is definitely possible from PlayStation.
All right. I think. Yeah.
Why don't we? Yeah. So, as if you haven't been there from the beginning, just why don't we have gameplay? Something just went wrong with our console. I'll be completely honest. We screwed something up real bad, and so we don't have gameplay from PlayStation. We had some kind of a dev console here with a dev build. We wanted to play on a server when we can teleport, so that we can actually like progress a little bit faster.
To make it simple, it was a network issue with one of
yeah.
our studios, so
Yeah.
we're gonna keep it at that
Yeah.
and learn from our mistakes.
Yeah. So I hope we're not too boring. That's what I'm guessing, kind of. But yeah, with tomorrow release, don't worry. We've made sure that things actually work. So
I think it's gonna be exciting, even with this small hassle. It's a good game. I'm looking forward to playing it on PS4. I think there are lots of players out there that want to play it.
Yep.
And it's something that you don't see on consoles, so we're unique in so many regards.
Exactly. Very unique survival experience coming to all of you PlayStation 4 players. Just to remind you, if you haven't been here from the beginning, just to do the basic recap, we have premiered our nice live action trailer that's actually from the real Generous, and I think it was not a secret anymore. It was kind of already released throughout the weekend, but Dayz is launching on May 29th, which is tomorrow in most places. Australians already happily playing because of the time zone differences. So May 29th, it's literally hours away, and by May 29th, 7 p.m. Central European time, Dayz will be out globally. It's gonna be a kind of a continuous rollout, as we already said before, so you're gonna have to wait just a little bit more. But I think compared to
It's right
to,
around the corner. So
it's literally almost.
I think, guys, if you want to play that game, like weekend is coming soon.
Yep.
So Friday, Saturday, Sunday is gonna be
Yep.
the best day to try out the game. Find the players, play with them, find friendships, enjoy the hostile encounters.
Don't be afraid of the voice chat or the other communication
Oh,
tools.
yeah.
Definitely use them. So Bati, are we still running the giveaway? Did we do everything right? Are people signing up? Awesome. That's great to hear. I think I still see an interesting question. I'm gonna answer that one.
Yeah.
Tim.
All right.
And that's the differences.
Yeah, differences between the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yes. So those of you who invested into the more powerful console, and even if you invested into a 4K TV at home or a 4K screen, you're in for a treat because Dayz on PlayStation 4 Pro can run in native 4K resolution. It looks really super crispy when you run it in 4K. And we also kind of run decently considering that it's such a detailed game and it's in 4K.
4K gaming.
Yeah.
That's it.
Even better, if you don't have a 4K system, but you have a PlayStation 4 Pro, you will be running in 1080p native, which of course means that the console will have a little bit more computing time to render the game. So for you, it's gonna be running buttery smooth, hopefully.
Yep.
And another PlayStation 4 trophies. Yes, we do have trophies.
Okay.
You will actually be. I think you will be very happy with the trophy system because you will get them relatively quickly. I think so. If you are the collector, Dayz is a great game for you. There are some challenging ones, definitely, but it's very because like Dayz in itself is not a like it takes time. Like you need to learn and everything. So that's what we're kind of trying to, I guess, reward you at the beginning. You get the trophies, like the very first set of basic trophies, pretty quickly.
Okay. Another question. Maybe I'm jumping back there to gameplay.
Oh yeah. Keep
When
it going.
you're starting on PlayStation, how do you get familiar in the game? Are there like certain helps, like a tutorial or like something to get used to the controls? Or
So, like the very first basic thing I think you should do whenever you launch the game, in the menu, you should have the option to watch a tutorial video or something. That's like a very quick introduction into the game that's gonna give you the rundown of like what to do to not be completely lost at the beginning. It's gonna tell you like, yeah, it's gonna tell you the very basics. There's also like simple guides to explain to you the very basic controls of DayZ that can be, especially our inventory is kind of complex, so it can get tricky at times. But as soon as you learn it, it's kind of okay. But it just requires some getting used to. So we are trying to help you with this through the
Well,
guides.
it's a PC game that stays true to its nature. So we haven't dumbed down things. It's the same game. It's the same thing.
Yes. Yeah.
The controls are something that you get used to, but I think they fit the game very well. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it.
Yep.
okay.
And other than that, as we already kind of mentioned before, if you were here for the first part of the live stream, in DayZ, it's all kind of about exploration and finding yourself and just learning the ins and outs. So, yes, we do explain the basic controls. You can check out the control scheme, but lots of the figuring out is actually on you.
Okay. Getting a lot of questions about frame rate on PlayStation. That would probably also include PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah, but as I said, I think for how detailed we are, the game is doing pretty okay. You'll see it yourself. Definitely, there are gonna be some situations and places where you meet a lot of people when.
To put it in a perspective, the game runs basically about 30 FPS. With Pro, you'll see some more FPS, especially if you're running
On
full
the-
HD.
Yeah.
However, you also might encounter some drops, and that's something that we are working on, and you'll see more changes coming with the next patch.
I think we're actually kind of right now in the middle of trying to have a version out for the consoles that would kind of flesh out some of the problematic
Yeah.
areas that we discovered.
We're gathering the feedback, so guys, as soon as
Yeah.
you encounter something that feels off, like reach out to us, and we're definitely gonna try
And
and include it in the next
Tim,
update.
that's a good time for you actually. How can people send us feedback in case something wrong happens with the game?
Yes. Of course, you can submit your issues to our Twitter feed, Twitter @DayZ, or you
Or
can
Facebook if you prefer that, of course.
Yes, but the best way to submit detailed feedback with video evidence and everything is to our feedback tracker. That's at feedback.bestudio.com.
You can find the link on our website, by the way.
Yes, the
Or-
link will be
or-
provided
yeah.
in many places. You can also ask always on Twitter for it, and we will help you out with that.
And there, there's like it's a direct communication channel with Dayz, our feedback tracker master. He's gonna take a look at your ticket. If we already kind of seen that before, he's gonna just he's gonna just push it forward to the team, or he's gonna assign the issue to somebody else, and that's how we.
And
collect
he's also
feedback
gonna
from
keep
you.
you informed about the state of it. So that's the important part. We're
That
gonna
too.
try and keep the communication going.
Yes. Okay, playing with friends, and how does the voice chat factor in? Because PlayStation has a party chat, and people probably need to switch something up there if they want to communicate in game and with their party.
Mm-hmm. If you enter the group chat through the PlayStation systems, the downside is that you cannot use the voice chat because I'm not sure. We probably didn't find the correct solution for it to make everything work together.
We're still
So-
looking into it, so you'll see more changes coming. But right now, yes, that's the case.
Right now, it's a limitation. So you are either in a group chat with your friends on PlayStation, or you use the in-game voice
But
chat.
since you can talk to your friends in game, I think
It
makes it easier.
yeah, it is the most also like you can communicate also long range. You can find the radio. I mean, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
it's not as easy, but it's like there's some work to it. You need to find a battery, plug it in, and that's when you get like really fully immersed into the game. But yeah, if you want to just quickly jump in with a couple of friends, use the PlayStation voice chat. So yeah.
Okay, and in general, we should probably talk about it. Playing with friends is a bit different than most other games do it.
Most definitely.
Mhm.
In Daisy, it's all about like putting you into the world, and so you spawn across different places, and
Because the first thing they need to do is find each other.
exactly.
And sometimes that can be challenging, but also fun. And I think these times when we are trying to find each other, playing the game, has
Oh,
actually taught me a
Oh,
lot
oh
about
yeah,
the game
oh yeah.
itself.
And the because obviously, if you spawn across different maps, you just want to quickly orient yourself and like find the fastest routes to connect with your buddies, and so you get to learn the map that way very well, and you will master the coast this way basically. So that's what I know very well. I'm not a very good Daisy player, but I know the coast very well.
okay. I can tell a small story I have to tell on that. I was reading from about two friends
Yeah.
who were trying to meet up in Daisy, and they they were finding someone,
Mm-hmm.
and they were completely scared because that was like one of the first contacts they had there, and were like talking carefully, who is that? And at the same time, they were writing with their friend, oh, I've met someone here, and they're, oh no, I've also met someone here, and they were like completely careful, and they decided to just join together and meet
Yeah.
up with their friend, and then suddenly they were realizing, wait, that is my friend. It sounded slightly different in the voice chat,
Right.
and they were so careful that they just did not recognize. Oh yeah, we are already
Yeah.
at the same position.
I think on PlayStation we actually have to identify the players, so I think you actually see the player name in the game. So I think on PlayStation this is a little bit easier, but that wouldn't probably happen to you.
Okay.
But yeah. Hey, what else? I think was I see from Anna from the chat. We already talked about crossplay. We're not gonna. We're not. We don't. We're not considering supporting it right now.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you already know the file size for the game for download on PlayStation?
Hmm. Do we know that? I don't know myself, honestly.
It's sub 10 gigabytes at the moment, so
Yeah,
you shouldn't see.
below
We're
10
we're
gigs.
not anywhere near the sizes of the new games that
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
are coming
yeah,
out, and I know that myself. Not having a good internet connection,
yeah.
downloading a 50 gig game,
No,
not a good experience. So
we're not gonna kill your
yeah,
bandwidth. And like I think when I last downloaded the game, it was something like 8.9
yeah,
gigabytes.
that's why I use the variation because it can change by a couple megabytes here and there. But generally, like sub 10 gigabytes, that's the download that you
Yeah.
should be expecting. So it should be pretty fast, and hopefully you'll play the game pretty quickly after you buy it.
Cool, cool, cool. Do we have anything else, Tim? Any still interesting questions? Okay, I see somebody in the chat. Diragon, thank you. Somebody's mentioning that it says 8.7 gigabytes. So there, like Eugen said, some variation there, but around this much.
Okay. Yeah, that's. Oh, base building, if it's possible, will be possible on PlayStation. Base building.
Yes, base building is in the game, and it was actually something that we wanted to show off. So it's something that
Yeah,
sadly didn't happen right now. But yeah,
yeah, we
base building is
failed.
in the game. It's playable, and it's realized the same way as that you can experience it in Xbox and PC at the moment.
Yeah, so you need to collect obviously all the materials
Yeah.
first, and then you need to build
And
bases,
the tools and the
tools.
hammer
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
It's a very interesting take on the base building, and I think it's one of the things that in the game that is good to do with friends. It's not easy to do it alone.
Okay, okay. I think like we're kind of getting repeated questions very often. Lots of questions about next update. It's something. So here's the thing, guys. We'd like to keep the expectations kind of right. We want to like whenever we are really close to having the update out. That's when we actually kind of want to talk about the contents of it or when exactly is it releasing. Because we don't want to like cause any disappointments or things like this. So. The,
I'm gonna just say one thing about the next update.
yeah.
Generally, the planning of the update 04 has started about 2 weeks ago. So the work is still ongoing, and we'll share more as we approach the release.
Cool. So, again, just whenever we are close to update, expect some more communication from us. Until then, hold tight.
Okay, I have one last question from Speggy.
Hey,
Okay.
Spaggy.
Hi, Speggy. Yeah. Does Tim think I'm funny? Yes, Speggy. You are very funny. I like you.
I can't hold it in myself. I need to answer that question as well. You are sometimes funny, Spaggy. No, so sorry for context. Spaggy is one of the regulars, especially under our tweets, and he just keeps interacting with everybody in the community and just keeps giving back. So we have kind of a nice relationship with Spaggy. It got more personal. So
So do we have
Right.
any more questions that we want to cover?
As Martin said, it's mostly recurring questions.
yeah. Okay, so I think if we're really nearing towards the end of questions, that means we're also very quickly gonna wrap up the live stream because without the gameplay, we're probably just getting very boring here right now. So Bathy, are we closing? Are we closing the raffle of the giveaway? Okay, so I'm gonna give you 5 last seconds to enter PS4 into the chat if you want to enter the raffle. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's over. Whenever Bati gets through actually selecting the people through the randomizer, she's gonna approach you through the Twitch PMs, and that way you're gonna learn if you won something cool from us. Oh, people still spamming PS4. Sorry, it's too late, guys. I gave you the 5 seconds, but I'm pretty sure many
So
of
shall
you
we
entered
do
early.
a small recap of what's going to happen?
Definitely. So today we premiered on this live stream my live action trailer and finally officially from our end announced the release date of Daisy on PlayStation 4. It is May 29th, which is in most locations across the world. It's actually tomorrow. Australians, again, happy campers. They're already playing the game. The game's gonna be towards over the 29th of May. Over the next 24 hours, basically, it's gonna be rolling out across the various regions by 7 p.m. Central European Time tomorrow. Should be available on locations worldwide.
The price point that we're aiming at is $49.99, so you should be seeing that on your stores.
Yes.
And the servers are ready for you guys, so we're looking forward to seeing you in game.
Oh yeah. So I think that wraps it up. Thank you guys for coming to the live stream. I
You're
hope
welcome.
you guys enjoyed, and I definitely hope you will enjoy Daisy whenever it comes out over the next 24 hours in your region. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure to check out the live action trial also on full quality on our YouTube channel. Give it a subscribe, follow us, and see you in channels, guys.
See you in tuners.
See you
Thank you.
generous.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Eat a rotten piece of fruit. Drink this tasty looking bottle of juice. Forget zombies can run inside and they can glitch through walls with their new AI. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Give a zombie a hug. Inject the wrong type of blood. Throw a chem light at your feet. Download a bunch of hacks and try to cheat. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Run into a bandit clan. Try to help that ill-looking man. Forget that people can lie. Shoot at Sacriel and you can wave goodbye. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Don't eat or drink for a day. Volunteer for a zombie buffet. Pull the pin and forget to throw. Hit the gas pumps and wait for them to explode. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Shoot your gun in town where there's loads of zombies. Broadcast your location on